Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, my Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find a link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video is going to be about what comes to mind when people mention your name. So pile number 1, you're going to be the tree agate crystal. Pile number 2, you're going to be malachite crystal. And pile number 3, you're going to be the blue turquoise crystal. So again, pile number 1, tree agate crystal. Pile number 2, malachite crystal. And pile number 3, blue turquoise crystal. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi pile 1, welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number 1, you picked the tree agate crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number 1. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? My pile number 1. We have the Queen of Wands. Confident. I also heard show off. Okay, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Full of yourself. Very beautiful as well. Some people are, like, I feel like you have a mixture of like haters and supporters, okay? Fans and haters. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Wow, okay, so we have the 8 of Wands. So adventurous, a go-getter. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Multi-talented with the 2 of Pentacles. And highly intuitive with the High Priestess. So you could have Cancer in your chart. But yeah, definitely highly intuitive here. This is what I'm getting with the High Priestess. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Definitely mystical, magical. And with the 8 of Wands, adventurous, go-getter, or trendsetter. Okay, you're action-oriented here. You're multi-talented here. With the 2 of Pentacles, you have a lot on your plate. You stand strong on your throne with the Queen of Wands. Okay, you're very passionate, enthusiastic, optimistic. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how enthusiastic you are when it comes to your goals, your dreams and aspiration, how you tackle life, how you do everything is just like so much like energy and power, and people like really love that about you. But there's some people that hate on you because you are very sure of yourself, but because you are sure of yourself, it comes off as being arrogant to these people because they don't love themselves. They don't think highly of themselves. So when you step into the scene, it's like all eyes on you. So they may call you a show off. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Yeah, 9 of Wands, like a big ego. Yeah, like that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you have a big ego. You think you're all that and a bag of chips, as you should. Okay, like what? You're supposed to have low self-esteem? Like that's pretty much like the energy I'm getting. Like you have a high amount of self-esteem, and it's not like boastful or egotistical. It's really like you loving on yourself, you trusting in your abilities to get things done, you being like the best version of yourself. Like, you know, going to the gym, working out, eating healthy, eating clean. Like maybe sometimes you might eat junk food here and there. You might cheat on your diet, but you always like you're always consistent. This is what I'm getting here. And like I feel like you may have like very strong boundaries with the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, and that causes people to think that you think that you're all that. Like you don't want to chill with them, you don't want to hang with them. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see the Sun card, Leo energy. Yeah, like some people feel like you're a show off. That's what comes to mind when they mention your name. Like, yeah, pile number 1 is such a show off. They think they're all that. Oh, just because they have success or they have some sort of public recognition with the Sun card, and like people are like all up in your grill. Like, you know, people are like gravitating towards you. People are celebrating you. People are, you know, praising you, and then this person is getting mad. Like these people are getting mad that you're getting some sort of props, okay? And some people don't want to give you your props at all. They do on purpose not to give you your props. Like they definitely go out of their way to definitely make you feel like you're not that good or you're not all that. Yeah, you see? The Empress. I can't make it up, guys. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're very beautiful, aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, very creative with the Empress energy. You may have Taurus or Libra in your chart, Leo, Cancer, okay? Like very attractive here, like very powerful individual, assertive. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, so the people that love you, they see that you are assertive. They love your leadership qualities. They love your, I heard integrity as well. They love your creativity, how beautiful you are inside and out. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the 10 of Cups. So there's definitely that happiness, that happy energy, positivity. Like everywhere you go, people love on you, and that's what causes your haters to hate on you. So the haters, they, you know, they talk mad crap about you, but the people that love you, they say that you have a positive energy. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how positive you are, how friendly, open-minded, welcoming. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yo, they don't want. 5 of Pentacles. Woo! Somebody feels left out in the cold by you. You know what comes to mind when people mention your name? It could be somebody who's salty, that could be saying that you are disloyal with the 5 of Pentacles. Like you dropped them, you left them out in the cold, like you were not there for them, you're not, you know, a good friend. There's somebody who's salty because you dropped them, okay? Because this person was not on the same path as you. You guys were not going the same way. Like you're not... like this person's not progressing the way that you expect them to progress, and then you felt like this person was a hindrance to your growth, so you had to let them go. With the 5 of Pentacles, this is what I'm getting here. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, like you have this loving, nurturing energy about you, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But I'm getting like there's definitely that salty person that feels some type of way about you choosing yourself or putting yourself first instead of like dealing with their BS and their toxicity. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, star. You are original, you are authentic, you have you have great influence on others, okay? You're definitely, that originality is here. So Aquarius energy, you may be an Aquarius here, don't have to be, but you're definitely original and authentic, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're just different, okay? And you're definitely influential, or you're meant to be in the spotlight. If you're not in the spotlight already, you're meant to be in the spotlight. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, they know that you have the potential to go really far. Whatever skill set, talent that you have, you could utilize that to better yourself, to better the life of the people around you, and you are meant to be influencing people all over the world. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Okay, that's too many cards. Just one, please. What comes to mind? We have the Eight of Cups. It came out in reverse, but I wasn't called to take it in reverse. So what comes to mind when people mention your name with the Eight of Cups is that you know how to emotionally withdraw from situations that no longer serve you. Like, you don't stick around for things, places, people that do not serve your highest good. You have a good amount of self-love here. Like, you know when to leave, you know when to exit, like, you know your worth here. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Yeah, unpredictable with the Tower. You could have Scorpio in your chart. Yeah, you're unpredictable, you're different. Like, they can't predict your next move. You're just different, okay? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Eight of Wands again, like action-oriented, driven, determined, okay, trendsetter. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh, a Vanessa with the Knight of Cups. Romantic, smooth talker, smooth operator. That, yeah, Vanessa with the Knight of Cups. Very, I heard seductive, highly intuitive with the Knight of Cups. Very charming, okay, with the Knight of Cups. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, cautious as well, meticulous in your approach. You have amazing work ethics. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. There's definitely that energy of you being someone who is loyal to yourself, loyal to your goals, you're loyal to your craft. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention, I just saw the Queen of Wands, wanted to come out. We have the World card, so accomplished. We have the Hermit. Okay, so we have the World card here. So I'm definitely getting that what comes to mind when people mention your name is that they say that you are somebody who is well accomplished, cultured. Maybe you've traveled around the world, or you like to travel. Some of you could speak more than one language here. With the World card, you could be a foreigner. I'm getting like exotic. So what comes to mind when people mention your name is how exotic you look. Regardless of your background, you look extremely exotic, especially for the people from your same country. Like, I feel like you get that a lot, where people may talk crap about you in your language, okay? That, like, I feel like that is something that could happen to you often, where people may mistake you for another culture, or like another country or an ethnicity, and then they start talking crap about you. And then some of you may even respond in your language to let them know that you actually understand what they're saying, and they get shook. I'm getting that energy for you, my pal. Number one, that happens to you sometimes, or a lot, like often. We have the Hermit here, Virgo energy. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are somebody who is introverted, like you keep to yourself, okay? Like you're not all up in the mix, okay? So you may know a lot of people, like with the sun and the star card, like you're popular, people know you, but I don't mean that you're all up in the mix, like, or you're in people's face all the time, and that people have access to you just like that. No, people don't have access to you like that. With the Hermit card and the Nine of Wands, like you have very strong boundaries here, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And that's why some of them, they feel like you think you're all that, because it's like, yo, you don't want to hang with us, like you don't want to chill with us. It's like, nah, like I have other things to do. It's not because you think you're better, it's just like you have other things to do. You have other goals and dreams and aspirations that you have to get to, and then you can't get to it if you're only always chilling with these people all day. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Death card, Scorpio energy. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are transformative, you are resilient, magnetic. Like, even though people like can't have access to you, they're still drawn to you with the death card. Like, they're still drawn to your energy. They can't get enough of you. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What do we have here? Wow, 8th house, mystery, Scorpio energy here again. We have Scorpio 3 times now with the 8th house, death, and the tower. Definitely could have Scorpio in your chart, so you're very sexy, I'm getting here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're very like attractive. Like, people just are so drawn to your energy and they want to be around you all the time. But then you with the hermit energy, you're like, I need time to recharge. I need time alone. I need time to do me, to do what I want to do, or I want to stay home all day and not talk to anybody. Like, that's the energy I'm getting here. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh, Mars again. That's Scorpio Aries energy with Mars. So you have great like strong willpower here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're definitely a go-getter with that Mars energy. You have that will, the strength. Like, you will go above and beyond to get things done. This is what I'm getting here with that Mars energy. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have alliance, conjunction. So you're definitely an ally. You're a great team player. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. So there's some people that may have lost access to you, but they still speak highly of you. And we have Libra. Okay, and it makes sense with alliance because Libra is the diplomat of the zodiac. So definitely diplomatic, well balanced, and like very attractive here because we have the Empress and now we have Libra. Look at this card, they're very pretty. Like, all the other cards are very nice, but because Libra is ruled by Venus, look at the detail on this card. Like, look how beautiful it is. So I'm getting like you're well balanced here, my pal number one, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But you're definitely detailed oriented or very attractive. And I'm getting like perfectionist here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And look, Pluto again, Scorpio energy. Okay, magnetic, powerful here. All right, so that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi pal 2, welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 2, you picked malachite crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, oh, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 2, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What do we have here? Ooh, we have the Devil. Capricorn energy. I know the Devil has a negative connotation to it, but I'm not getting something toxic for you, my pal number 2. It's more like people are obsessed with you. They obsessively have your name in their mouth. I'm getting like snob. People think that you're a snob. That's what comes to mind when they mention your name. Like, I feel like you're a workaholic here. You could be an introverted individual, so you're all about work, 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 and no play with the Devil. Where like you're obsessed with work and people are obsessed with you. This is what I'm getting here with the Devil. Like, you have amazing work ethics here, I'm getting as well. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. It's like, but they feel like you're just too obsessed with money or obsessed with status. Some of you have like big businesses here, or you are working towards building an empire for yourself. So you may not have a lot of time for socializing with others. So you may be just focused on your coins. You may just be focused on your goals and your dreams. So people may look at it as you being obsessed. Okay, so you may have like very strict routines where you don't, like maybe you don't go out after 9 o'clock. Like somebody asks you to go out to a party and you're like, oh, it's after 9. You're like, I'm good, I'm not going. Like you may have like a very strict routine about yourself that people like may not agree with, but that's the reason why you have acquired so much in your life, is because of that routine, that strict routine that you have with yourself. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the Lovers here. Gemini energy. So I feel like people, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you could talk to just about anybody with the Gemini energy. Like your communication skills are on point. Okay. And some people, they feel like you could have commitment issues. I don't know why I'm getting that with the Lovers, because the Lovers is about making choices. It's also about commitment. It's about love. Okay. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Sun card, Leo energy. Yeah, you could be in a spotlight here, my pal, number 2. So people could be saying that what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are somebody who has a lot of potential, or you could be a leader already. So you have amazing leadership skills, but there is an energy of people saying that you are like power hungry or money hungry, because the devil is here. And you know, like that's the Capricorn energy, where it's like about financial stability, but it's also about preserving life, like learning lessons. Saturn energy, being structured, being disciplined, being mature. And I feel like some people, they may look at it as you being obsessed, but really it's about you making sure that your family is secure, making sure that, you know, your finances in order, that you are able to move in ways that other people can't. Okay, like maybe they may see you as a workaholic, but then you could go on vacation whenever you want. You could spend, you could splurge on your family whenever you want. You could buy Chanel, Gucci, all you want, and you're not going broke, right? Doing it. So this is what I'm getting here with that energy. So some people may see you as power hungry with the Sun card. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? And we do, at the time that I'm filming this, we have a full moon in Capricorn, in 29 degrees in Capricorn. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, 8 of Swords. You give some people anxiety. When your name comes up, there's people that are uneasy. I feel like there could have been like some people that betrayed you or did something to you, backstab you. So whenever your name comes up in conversation, it makes some people uneasy. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the 8 of Wands, an action-oriented individual, a go-getter. Okay, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're definitely somebody who is always on the go. Like you get things popping for yourself. Like you always on the move. Okay, you're not somebody who just sits around and wait for life to happen. You take the bull by its horn and you just get things done. Okay. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have a healthy amount of self-love. But I just heard conceited with the Sun card and the Ace of Cups. Like some people may, what comes to mind when they mention your name is that you're conceited. You're like, you love yourself too much. You think too highly of yourself. Like you need to come down to earth. What comes to mind when people mention your name? But like what I'm getting here with the Ace of Cups is that even though some people might hate on you, they know that the love that you give is genuine. Like when you really love somebody, like you love really, like you love deeply. It's not a fake. You're not doing it for clout. Okay. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, generous spirit here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Yeah, like that's what I said. Like with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, you have a generous heart. You're very giving, very nurturing to the people that you care about. But like once they cross you, once they do something, that's why I'm getting like somebody may feel uneasy when your name comes up because of something that they did to you or said to you, and now you like cut them off. But they cannot deny the love that you ever like you had for this person. Like it was genuine, it was real. Like you were about to give you, like, you know, you would give the shirt off your back to this person, but they backstab you in a way that you're like, I'm not dealing with you ever again. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, Ace of Pentacles, that you're really good with money, you're financially stable and abundant, or you're a great catch, like you're reliable, dependable, but you're able to make something out of nothing with the Ace of Pentacles, like you're really good at manifesting money. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Okay, that's too many cards. Just one, please. Thank you. Yeah, we have the Hermit card, Virgo energy. Yeah, so with this Hermit energy, yeah, like that's the energy I was saying, like you like to keep to yourself, like you have strict routines. Even a strict diet, like there's certain things that you don't eat. People may find it weird because you stick to your diet, but it's like you have the discipline to follow through. If you say you don't eat red meat, you don't eat red meat. It's not that, period. Like you're not gonna go back and forth with somebody as to why you don't eat red meat. That's none of their business. It's like it's your decision, it's your body. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Ten of Cups, happiness, happy home, health, mental health, like you're very healthy with the Ten of Cups, joyful. Like I keep going back to the love you give is real, it's genuine, it's not fake. You're not doing it to get something out of somebody. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the King of Wands, self-assured, confident, amazing leadership skills, determined here, very attractive. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you're building a legacy for yourself with the Ten of Pentacles. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, because of the fact that you're working really hard to get things done or to get something accomplished. Maybe you are a parent here. You could be like a single parent, or you could be married. It could be people in your community saying these things. It could be people like from your hometown, people in like your church, your school, wherever you frequent often. It could be these people talking about you. And with the Ten of Pentacles, they're definitely seeing you as being somebody who is going to accomplish major things in your life, that you're going to build something really big because of your work ethics. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Moon card, highly spiritual, intuitive. You could have Pisces in your chart, but you're definitely highly intuitive. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But you move in silence. You're hard to read. What comes to mind? Yeah, Ace of Wands. We have almost all the aces. We're missing the Ace of Swords. You are very creative. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how passionate you are, how enthusiastic you are with the Ace of Wands. And you come off as somebody who is very strong-minded, and the creative abilities that you possess are very unique. Like you come up with very like unique ideas or different ways to solve a problem. You think outside the box. What comes to mind when people mention your name? You may have more than one creative gift, okay? Some of you could be musicians, but you could also be a singer and a dancer, okay? Or you could be an athlete, but you could also DJ. Like there's so many things that you could do, and you're really good at it. It's not just like mediocre level, okay? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Fool card. With the Fool energy, I'm getting like you what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you walk to the beat of your own drums. You're not a follower, you are a leader. You lead by example, and you do what is best, what is just, what is just and what is fair for you and for your highest good, like for everybody else's highest good. Like you don't do things, I keep going back to saying like clout, like you don't do things for clout. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Like they know you're not a clout chaser. Yeah, Seven of Wands. You have strong boundaries here, healthy boundaries. Some people may say that you're feisty with the Seven of Wands. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, but you have very strong boundaries here. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Yeah, Four of Swords. Yeah, laid back. You have a very laid back personality. You're not combative. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, wow. We have the Two of Cups. They could be saying that you're an ideal lover, ideal partner. And we do have the Lovers here. But I'm getting like, because of the commitment issues that I said earlier, you may have commitment issues, or maybe people be saying that about you. Yeah, Five of Cups. Maybe like what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're disappointed in love, or the reason why you work so much is because you've been heartbroken too many times. That could be people that actually know you and know your past. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have Libra again. Pile number 1 had Libra too. So you could have Libra in your chart, but very attractive energy here. Well balanced, laid back. Yeah, because Librans are laid back. They're more chill. Okay. Agreeable. This is what I'm getting here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're agreeable. You're like I said, you're not combative, but you stick to your guns. If you say no, then it's no. Nobody's going to make you say yes. If you say no, it's no. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh. Okay, definitely Venusian energy, because we have Venus here and we have Taurus, the two signs that are ruled by Venus. So very beautiful, aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. You're very nurturing. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And you're very grounded with the Taurus energy. Some people may be saying that you're stubborn as well, because like I said, you like to stick to your routine, and if you say no, then it's no. If you say yes, then it's yes. So with the Taurus energy, like the earth energy you have here, because we have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, and we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. So you definitely are a grounded individual. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how grounded you are, how stable you are, determined. You have amazing work ethics. You're very cultured. You're resourceful. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, third house, communication. Yeah, you're a great communicator here. Some of you could be singers with the third house, but you have like amazing communication skills, and people say that when people mention your name, they say that you're a well-spoken individual. You could be soft-spoken too. Or I'm also getting that with this energy, with the third house, you could be like, what people say when they mention your name is that you could be somebody who is a great narrator, like, or you're an author or something. Like, there's something that you do, maybe like a journalist. Maybe that's what you studied, but whatever it is that you're doing when it comes to communication, you're really like, you're amazing at it. Like, you're great. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. I can't even speak. Holy moly. So that's all I have for you, my pal number 2. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 2. Bye. Hi Pal 3, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 3, you picked the blue turquoise crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 3, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh, we have the Sun card, Leo energy. I think the Sun came out for all 3 piles, but definitely very positive energy here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You have a positive disposition, a positive attitude to you. But I'm also getting an energy of people saying that, like, I heard grandiose, like, yeah, some people may be hating on the fact that you get a lot of attention. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Yeah, Six of Wands. Yeah, like you get a lot of attention. You could be in the public eye with the Sun card and the Six of Wands, public recognition. You're getting recognized. I feel like there could be people at your workplace talking about you, talking about your newfound success, talking about your new ability, like your abilities to create success out of thin air. Maybe some of you, it took you a really long time to get to where you are today. However, some people, they may be like upset with you because of the fact that you are doing it on your own and you're not sharing your success. So some people may say that you're selfish because you don't want to bring them on, like you don't want to put them on. But it's like they want to get put on off of your effort, but they were not there when you were struggling. They were not like, they weren't giving you a helping hand when you were struggling. They don't want to, they just want to take a piece of your pie. And you're like, I feel like a lot of you are saying no, and they could be saying that you're selfish. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Empress here. So very attractive, very creative, abundant. You could have Libra or Taurus in your chart. With the Empress energy, very aesthetically pleasing to the eyes with the Empress energy, but that creative energy. I feel like some of you could be models here, could be dancers, singers, like estheticians, lash technicians, makeup artists, nurses. Like you could be a travel nurse. Maybe you do Botox, or maybe you do like lip fillers and stuff like that. Or I heard liquid BBL. So you may be into like cosmetics, like cosmetic surgery. You could be a surgeon here, some of you, but it's something to do with beauty with the Empress energy. And people, when they mention your name, they could be talking about the work you've done on your body. Some of you may have done some plastic surgery. Okay, maybe you've done like a nose job, or you did a lip filler, or maybe not like permanently, like stuff that are permanent, like, you know, well, lip fillers are not permanent. You have to go back and do it again, but it lasts like a pretty long time, I think a year or something like that. But I feel like it could be like something that's semi-permanent, like you know, those not lash, but the brow, it's not brow tint, it's like henna. And it's like it lasts at least for a couple of weeks or something like that. Maybe you've done something like that, and people could be talking about how like you're always enhancing your your aesthetics, like you're always working on yourself. Like there is that energy of people hating on your beauty with the Empress energy. And with the Six of Wands, you could be like, maybe your public image is like how you make money. Maybe you are an influencer or a content creator, and you use your beauty. So maybe like you're a Fashion Nova brand ambassador, so your pictures have to look good because you're selling the clothes, right? So you have to be presentable in front of the camera. You have to do a lot, like, you know, doing all these like beauty ritual costs money, and it takes time. Like it's not like something that comes easy. So I feel like people may be hating on you, or saying that like you're just all about beauty, all about your looks. Okay, they could be hating on that. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see, they're jealous of you with the Nine of Cups. Like you get your wish fulfillment. That energy I was saying that you don't want to share, like you don't want to give, like maybe like your secrets, how you got there, or like, and I feel like these people, they just want to know your secrets just to compete. It's not because they are genuinely interested and they want to learn from you. They want to just steal your ideas and then like eat off your plate. With the Nine of Cups, that's what they're saying, that you're selfish because you get your wish fulfillment. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And I feel like if you are a woman, it could be other women that you know that are secretly competing against you, but they want to know your secret. They want to know what's the secret sauce, but you're not giving them the satisfaction to like steal from you. So that's why they say that you think you're all that, or like they talk about your aesthetic like procedures, cosmetic procedures that you've done before. That's what I'm getting here. And with the Nine of Swords, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that like there is an energy of you applying pressure. They don't like when you come around. Like once you leave the room, people talk mad shit about you. Like with the Nine of Swords. Like your success makes people uncomfortable. It's people that you used to be friends with the Three of Cups. They're mad at you. Maybe like you got a tummy tuck or something like that. And like if you want to do cosmetic procedures, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your body. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it. Okay? Like you're allowed. But it's just like these people are not happy with the changes that you've done with your body. Maybe like even if it's not cosmetic procedures, maybe you went to the gym for like a year. You really had to work on yourself and you lost mad weight. They're mad at you for that, or they're jealous of you. There's an energy of like your name being brought up in conversation that's making people insecure or uncomfortable, or it's like putting stress on them. But it's people that you used to hang around with the Three of Cups. So whenever people mention your name, there is an uneasiness. Like there is like, it's like as if like when your name is brought up, like there's an elephant in the room and people don't want to address it. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Okay, that's too many cards. What comes to mind? Just one, please. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see the Ten of Swords. You've healed from a backstab. Like I'm telling you, that's why I was like going in with the cosmetic procedures, because I normally don't really dive into too deeply into those topics. But I feel like maybe I'm not saying like all of you did cosmetic surgery, but you've done some sort of like you've changed your appearance. It doesn't have to be through cosmetic surgery. Some of you could have been like just through diet, or like, you know, just taking really good care of yourself, eating well, you know, exercising, being on a strict regimen or something like that. But you've healed from a heartbreak or a sorrow. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So those two are in reverse. So with the Ten of Swords in reverse, you've healed from the heartbreak, from the backstabbing that they did. That's why whenever your name is brought up, there's an uneasiness. Whoever is talking about you, whoever is mentioning your name, there is an energy of like people in the room know, like whoever the slimy person, because I'm getting like a slimy person here. Whoever the person, like whoever did something slimy to you with the Ten of Swords, this person is like, everybody knows what they did, but nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody's saying anything. So when your name comes up, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that how you've healed from this backstab, from this betrayal, and you're still on top. With the Six of Wands, with the Empress, like you use that pain, you use that pain as a fuel to get better. And now, like with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you don't mess with them at all. Like you're not even invested in it. You don't even come around these people at all. Like they have no access to you, no nothing. And it's just like they have to watch you from the sidelines. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, there's definitely an energy of like a slimy person there. Grimy, like grimy energy. Yeah, you see? What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are competition now. Five of Wands. It's like, I'm telling you, whoever this person, and I feel like whenever your name comes up in conversation with these people, that person that's slimy keeps slandering your name, but it's like it makes everybody else uncomfortable because they know what they did. And it's like, how dare you talk about pile number 3 when you did them dirty? But nobody's saying anything. They're just listening, you know? Some of them might be chiming in, but what comes to mind when people mention your name is that how you became competition. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, like you're a go-getter with the Two of Wands. You move forward in life. Like you're not a sore loser. Like you take your L. Whenever you experience an L, you take it and you keep pushing. You keep bettering yourself. Like you use that as like you're an alchemist here. So you may have Sagittarius in your chart, or like Gemini or Virgo. But I'm getting like, yeah, like you turn anything that is thrown at you and you make it better. Okay, you utilize this to fuel yourself. You see, Gemini energy, didn't I say? Lovers, like you made the right choice for yourself. There is an energy of regret here. When people mention your name, it's like there's an energy of regret, like, oh, I regret like choosing this person's side over pile number 3. but now they can't come back. It's like as if like they were playing both sides. Okay, whoever is like in regret, they were playing both sides, so they can't come back. Like you're not gonna take them back. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Like you can't play both sides, you have to pick a side. We have the Hangman. You're definitely being viewed as somebody who thinks outside the box. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Yeah, you're happy. You found your happiness after this backstabbing, betrayal energy. Like you're more grounded. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how grounded you are. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Page of Swords. There's a lot of gossip. Like people talk a lot about you. Your name is like just in people's mouth 24/7. But it's that specific person that keeps bringing you up in conversation. Like your name is brought up all the time, like every single day. They may even have a group chat. What comes to mind when people mention your name, like a group chat about you? They may share your pictures. Yeah, Queen of Wands. I'm not surprised that she came out, but what comes to mind when people mention your name is that how confident you are, how radiant you are, how assertive you are with the Queen of Wands. Okay, you know who you are. Oh, Nine of Cups again, guys. I'm telling you, jealousy. There is an energy of jealousy here with the Nine of Cups because you get your wish fulfillment. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. There's an energy, like I said, of regret. People regretting not choosing you. Like you were the ideal person, the ideal friend. They chose someone else. Maybe that person was popular back then. Whoever they chose over you, like this group of friend or this ex that chose another lover. There's definitely that energy of regret with the Nine of Cups. What comes to mind? Yeah, you walk to the beat of your own drums. With the Fool card, you could have Aries in your chart. We have Aries. We have Leo. We have Gemini. We have Pisces, Libra, Taurus. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. You have amazing work ethics. You're a dedicated individual. Yeah, like you're the greatest. Like that's what I'm getting here. Like you keep improving yourself. Alchemist energy. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. You see, boss energy, dependable, reliable, trustworthy, like extremely independent here. Yeah, Five of Wands again, guys. I'm telling you, they see you as competition. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you are competition now. They want to beat you. They want to be better than you. You set the tone for what is meant to be accomplished. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have solar flare activate. So what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're walking in your true purpose. You are doing what you're meant to be doing. You are walking in your north node, towards your north node. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh, opposition, guys. Confrontation. That's like the Five of Wands energy. And we have 8 because we have 17, 1 plus 7, 8, and 5 plus 3, 8. Yeah, 8. And then we have 8 here. There's an energy of you, like, you know, being abundant. But what comes to mind when people mention your name is that there is an energy of confrontation, opposition, betrayal. Like some people may say that you're confrontational. Maybe before, like, the last time you spoke to this person that betrayed you, you blasted this person, or you put, like, you told them off. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Imunkuli, we have roots. So root, with the root energy, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are a grounded individual. You're not easily swayed or shaken by obstacles and challenges. You always get back up on your feet. You always land on your feet. What comes to mind when people mention your name? You're solid. That's what I heard. You're solid. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Just one card, please, Spirit. Just one card. Just one. Okay. We have 12th house, introspection, Pisces energy. Yeah, you see, tension. I'm telling you, you're being viewed or you're being talked about as like an opposition, but with the introspection energy, there's definitely that wisdom. Like you're very wise beyond your years. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. How wise you are. Okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.